What's going on, fam? This your main man KC for L Wrestling Takes on my way to work. You know the script. We're gonna talk about some Dynamite. Let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. Decent show, you know. It always could be better. I'm gonna talk about the main focal things. The main focal things are the following matches: the World Heavyweight title picture, the AEW Women's title picture, the Tag Team title picture, and let me see, what's another main focal part there of the show that I feel like, seem to get the, get most people talking. Them three, those like the main three. Now, when it's concerned to everything else, what does Tony Khan do? Tony Khan say, I'm gonna tell a story just by having somebody go in the ring and wrestle. That's my bread and butter. I'm a matchmaker. I'm not really a storyteller. I use the garbage ranking system because, fans like that. I'm using it as a crutch. So I'm not really that good at telling stories. So I'm going to use it as a crutch, And like I said, man, I just wish Tony Khan would do things differently. I don't give a crap that fool's going to say, oh, you just trying to be like the E. I don't give a crap about that bull job. What you need to do is you need to get people invested. And the way how Tony Khan always opened up his show with a freaking wrestling man, I'm like, bro, I don't give a crap. I don't care about that. And to each his own. I love Dax. I'm cool with Mox. I'm be 100% with you, man. That opener was born to say. That might have been one of the worst openers Tony Khan has said. Now, he's had some bad openers. We already know when you open the show with you know who. It's funny how he closed the show with him. But normally when you open the show with OC, you know the show's bad. Tony Khan say, I'm going to close the show with OC. I got you. Yeah. But what you should have did was you should have opened the show with either the Young Bucks pulling up, making the dress or whatever they had to do, or you could have opened the show with that fantastic segment between Swerve, Hangman, and Samoa Joe. That's what I would have done. I would have done something like that. I'm at least trying to get people invested in what I'm trying to present. We on the road to revolution right now. And I feel like there's still so many things to be added on, and you really want people to be invested in your programming, not just the in-ring wrestling. I don't know why Tony Khan and hardcore AEW fans think that's what's going to put butts in seats and that's what's going to get people to tune into your show. It's not. I don't give a crap what nobody got to say. I don't care. Like I said, I love AEW, and I'm always going to love AEW. I'm not, like I said, I'm not like these fools that turn on AEW because they favorite ain't there no more. I know that's not how I roll. I want this company, I tell you it every day, I want this company to thrive. I want this company to get right, but it takes the circus clown who's running the show to get his behind out the way, and he's still in the way somewhere. Now, let's talk about it. Like I said, the show opened up. They was live in San Antonio, Texas. Great crowd. Texas is always great. Same thing when they go to Phoenix. Great. But they was in San Antonio, Texas. Shout out to that main man, Seahawk, if you know exactly what I'm talking about. Cam, Cam Hawkins, a.k.a. Seahawk. He was in the house. He was there. Crowd was great. Like I said, they loved it, just about everything on the show. They loved it. Like I said, we opened up the show. Now, this whole CML stuff, none of them was there. You see how Tony Khan is very inconsistent in what he's trying to tell? You want us to be so-called invested in the beef between the BCC and the CML cats, right? They weren't nowhere in sight. So we beefing with FTR and the BCC now? I thought we were supposed to be beefing with the CML folk, right? Them clowns was nowhere in sight. They was nowhere in sight. I'm like, that's the inconsistent booking. That's Tony Khan for you, ladies and gentlemen. Inconsistent. I call him the Dak Prescott of pro wrestling for a reason. This is reasons why. Like I said, I want one fool. I want one fool to hop in my mentions and tell me that I D-ride for AEW. I want them. Come on in. Because as of late, I've been very critical of what they've been putting out. I told you, I enjoy what I watch, but a lot of times what Tony Khan and them is doing is not getting people invested. And just putting on a freaking wrestling match ain't what's going to do it. It's not going to do it. I don't care how good the match is. But that's Tony Khan's booking, ladies and gentlemen. That's what he do. So Mox and Dax out here grappling, doing what they got to do, you know. And Mox wins, chokes him out. So then next thing you know, here come Claudio. Claudio hops in the ring, and it's a 2-on-1. And then that Cash comes in. Now, as of late, I don't know if y'all been under the, living under a rock somewhere. But as of right now, the cats who Cash had pulled up on when he had pulled his his Glock out, they pressing charges. And if he's found guilty, he can face up to 5 years in prison. So that's the dilemma that my man's is in right now. He got jumped. So it was pretty much Moxley and Claudio standing tall over them. So next week we getting a tag team match. I'm like, it is what it is on that. So right after that, I believe we got what was next? I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember, y'all, because like I said, man, I'm not sitting in front of a computer screen. Normally I can have the doggone notes. What happened after the beatdown? It was another match, because that's how they do. They go match to match to match. That's how it is. Was it DJ and Adam Copeland? Because I feel like it was a match before them. It was a match before DJ and Adam Copeland, which was actually a pretty good match. They match ended up in a no contest because Christian, Mama Wayne, and Kill Switch, aka Luchasaurus, Nick Wayne, they all came out basically messed the whole match up. And you got Daddy Magic on commentary. Look, this is another issue that AEW finds himself in, man. I'm cool with Excalibur and them, but bro, they need an identity bag on commentary, man. The commentary folk is what's supposed to really engulf you in, because their job is to tell you what's really going on. Their job is to keep you your attention span of what's going on in front of you and what you're seeing. And when you got so many different voices on commentary just jumping on top of one another, it's like, I don't know. That's why I say the 3-man booth ain't it. That's all I gotta say. The 3-man booth is not it, ladies and gentlemen. It's not it. You gotta go back to a 2-man team. A 2-man team, what makes the most sense, because everybody is not jumping over everybody. It's not. You don't have that, and that's one of the biggest issues they got. It's like you got Excalibur, you got Tony Schiavone, you got Taz, then you throw Daddy Magic on there. It's like, man, everybody is, and you trying to understand what the heck is going on in the ring, but you got these fools just keep jumping over one another. I'm like, man, they need to get a side, like, get an identity on commentary and stick with it. If you're gonna do Taz and Excalibur or Dynamite, great. If you're gonna do Tony Schiavone and Nigel McGuinness on, or Kevin Kelly and Nigel McGuinness on Collision, great. If you're gonna do Daddy Magic and Tony Schiavone on Rampage, great. Make up your mind. 2-man booth is what's it. Not this 3-man booth, because everybody keeps jumping over everybody. But yeah, Daddy Magic and Adam Copeland had a solid matchup. Willow and Sky Black, I'm calling Sky Black. Sky Black had a solid matchup, and you had Stokely was on commentary acting a fool, and he quote unquote, if you want to say, called Sky Black. Next thing you know, online, her boot thing, Kyle Fletcher top out, when I see you Stokely, it's on site. I'm like, So he pretty much helped Willow win that match. Tony Storm responded to Deonna Purrazzo's comments about her not being real, and she needs the real her to show up. So she was at the tattoo parlor getting another tattoo, and obviously it was her old tattoo that she got with her, but it was with a knife and going through it or whatever. And as she was going through getting the tattoo, she was making some of the most goofiest looking face. I said Tony Storm is a clown. I didn't realize how silly she is. That girl is goofy. She is very silly. I'm like, that girl is, listen, I guess she went to the school of comedy and said, look, I'm about to really take this character to the next level, whatever. But obviously, like I said, she basically said, oh, you want the real me? Oh, you gonna get the real me? I'm gonna beat the snot out of you. So Deonna Purrazzo responded to her and said, she just basically said, I don't care, I'm about to whip your A, B, or whatever. You know, that's what it was. They gonna tear the house down. I believe the matchup is gonna be pretty good. But so then we got the Young Bucks finally arriving. They finally show up. They pull up, come in on the private jet, come out, limousine, get in the ring with what's the boys? Top Flight. I call them the black version of the Young Bucks because that's exactly who they are. The Young Bucks really couldn't even do what they normally do because they are the quote-unquote EVPs. They the Savage Bucks. And they still rocking the same outfits that they had on from last week with all the blood from you-know-who, Darby Allin. So they was pretty much just being heels throughout the whole matchup. And Top Flight was getting a couple of licks in. Talk about Darius and Dante Martin. But you know they weren't winning. You already know. Now this foolishness that they got my man Action Andrade doing, where he take the bottle of water and drink it all without choking, I don't get it. It's dumb. It don't make no sense to me. I don't understand it. I'm like, man. I'm like, Tony Khan, bro, what your main focus should be trying to get, like I said, whoever you're going to have in the tag team division, keep the tag teams division hot on Dynamite and Rampage. Get the trios division stuff, keep it on Collision and Ring of Honor if you want to. That's what I would be doing. Because as of right now, even with all the stuff going on, it still feel like things ain't where they should be. And then, like I said, my man just with this drinking water crowd, let's look goofy as possible, stupid. Yeah, so after that, they was about to basically beat the snot out of Tony Schiavone. Tony Schiavone got in the ring with them, and basically they found him, gave him a $1,000 fine, and then they was going to V-trigger him. Darby Allin comes out of nowhere, and he confronts him and pretty much says that, I don't know what happened to the original Young Bucks, like what happened to this place, the cats who wanted to change the world. Now you clowns are acting real silly, and it used to be a cat who used to work here, and everybody knew exactly what he was talking. Now, he could have been talking about either one. He could have either been talking about Cody, or he could have been talking about CM Punk. He was talking about one of them. And everybody loved the promo, especially even WWE had posted a video of it. Like I said, man, it's decent storytelling, but like I say, things could be so much better if Tony Khan would just get the clown out the way, get himself a team, and help him write these shows. That's all it is. I'm telling you, things, and then get yourself a draft. And you know what, man? I wouldn't actually mind a GM. Give me 2 GMs. One GM for Dynamite and Rampage, and then the other GM for Collision and Ring of Honor. That's what I do. I do some stuff like that, and like I said, split the rosters. So we got a backstage segment, because I'm gonna talk about the main title thing as the main focus before I talk about the main event. We got a backstage segment with the Scissor Bang Bang gang. I'm so over this bull job, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just ready for one of them to turn on each other. Whoever gonna turn, they just turn. I'm ready, so we can unify these doggone titles of Revolution and call it a day. Because as of right now, the trios division is a complete joke. It is a waste of time. Tony Khan don't know what the clown is doing. This is what happens when you have an abundance of titles that you don't know what you do with. The Triple Crown title just feels like another mid-card championship. That should be the main title on Collision. Everybody who's over on Collision should be gunning for that championship. That should be your main focal point. Then under that is the TNT title. And like I said, yeah, like I told you about Adam Copeland and DG basically get jumped by Christian and company. You know what I'm saying? He got chair Chesto or whatever. I'm pronouncing it wrong. Y'all know when you got somebody laying on top of a chair and then you pop them in the head with it. That's exactly what happened to Adam Copeland. So we got Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe come out to the ring. He addressed his 2 opponents. He said he was looking forward to just beating the brakes off of one of them. But since he has to deal with both bums, he's going to do what he needs to do by going into Revolution and walking out as champ, which I personally think is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Based off of the promo back and forth between all three of them, Swerve came out there talking about he going to make history, he going to do this, and then Hangman came out talking bull jive, and Samoa Joe just said, I'm basically going to whoop both of y'all behind. So, yep, that's exactly what's going to happen. I'm telling you, I'm convinced. Samoa Joe is, listen, I know everybody wants Swerve to win. Swerve not winning that championship in no Revolution. He ain't winning. Listen, I got that. Look, Swerve ain't getting that title for a while. I'm just trying to tell y'all right now. So brace yourself. I know people going to be upset, but I'm telling you, Samoa Joe ain't done nothing with the championship yet. He just getting started. But that promo, listen, for me, that might have been the best part of the whole show. I'm like, that's what the rest of the show needs to feel like. It can't just be one major segment that's carrying the entire show or carrying the entire brand. You ain't got your main players right now. Kenny is out. MJF is out. Britt Baker just sitting at home chilling. Jamie is out. Those are 4 key opponents that you're missing right now. And it's like Samoa Joe, Heyman, and Swerve, Tony Storm, Deonna Purrazzo. If you want to say Sting, Darby Allin, they can't carry the programming by themselves. Everybody else got to come along. Everybody. But again, it always starts with the clown that's in control, and that's Tony Khan, ladies and gentlemen. I'm serious. I'm like, that segment was great. I'm like, why didn't we kick the show off with them 3? Why? Why do we always have to kick the show off with a freaking match that was boring to say? That's TK's problem. Like I said, that's one of his biggest issues. One of his biggest issues is he's not really that good at telling stories. I'm calling it for what it is. This is a hardcore AEW head telling the truth. AEW shields are not going to tell the truth about this company. All they focusing in on is Mercedes coming, Will Ospreay coming, to what you call it? Okada coming. That's all. I'm like, bro, that's great. I'm glad they coming. But guess what? Just because they coming, we need storytelling. We need some serious storytelling when coming. Speaking of Will Ospreay, so backstage, we had another backstage segment. Don the Clown, Takeshita, and Will Ospreay, Will Hobbs was standing there, and he basically said, since we took care of Jericho old behind, we got an in-house matchup that's going to happen at Revolution. Will Ospreay will be making his way. Hold up. Will Ospreay will. Sorry about that. It's a random call. I don't know who this was trying to call me. Sorry about that. Yeah. Will Ospreay will be going against Takeshita at Revolution. So it's an in-house thing. I think what's about to happen here, I think Cat's about to turn on Don Callis. I don't know if Will is going to leave. I don't know. But this is about to be an in-house war that's going to happen. I'm just telling y'all what's about to take place. And on Rampage, unfortunately, Sammy Guevara injured Jeff Hardy. You know, man, listen, the flips and dives, you're going to have to calm down. You're going to have to figure out how to work safe. I saw the clip. I was like, oh, my goodness, this fool. I'm like, man, it's a sad joke, ladies and gentlemen. It's a sad joke. But, yeah, so like I said, that's the matchup. I'm like, is the match going to be good between Takeshita and Will Ospreay? Yes, it's going to be outstanding. But again, that's what Tony Khan's merit is. His merit is, let me just go based on a good matchup because that's what my fans like. No, we don't just like good wrestling. We like stories behind the good wrestling. If you can set the story up and get people invested, that's all we're asking. That's it. But again, this is Tony Khan's. This is where he struggles at. He struggles very. I've noticed it. I'm not stupid. I'm not like these hardcore AEW heads that every time you see them online, everything AEW does is great. And if you take a shot, then you hate AEW. No, I don't hate AEW. I'm telling you what needs to change, and it needs to change now. Because I'm telling you now, Mercedes comes through and Tony Khan treat her and book her like a joke, I hope no free agents ever come to AEW. For real. Because that's going to showcase that all you do is just know how to just book matches. That's it. That's it, man. Main event. Matt Taven versus OC in a Texas death match. Tony Khan loves his death match, ladies and gentlemen. He loves them. I'm like, I would not do it as much, but again, this TK. TK can't help himself. TK he wants to be, this Tony Khan. TK is heavily focused on ECW. If you notice how a lot of match places that take place, he was a hardcore fan of ECW. You can tell it just by watching a lot of the hardcore matches that happen. It was a decent matchup. They beat the snot out of each other, and this is the sad part about the Kingdom. As good as this match was, and OC won, all the clowns got involved, all of them, from Mike Bennett got involved, Roger Strong got involved, Chucky T got involved. I mean, no, Chucky didn't get involved. Trip Beretta got involved. All these clowns got involved. Everybody got involved, right? The problem is, I forget. Warlord went against some clown and beat the snot out of him. I'm like, man, like I said, man, the Kingdom should be the most devious group in AEW right now. Until MJF gets back, the 4 members who are able to move and able to walk should be dominating the entire roster. They should be done. Listen, if you want to include all the shows, since they don't want to break nobody up, they should be dominating everybody. Every week, the Kingdom should be imprinting their footprint on the freaking show. That's how the show should feel. We should be really looking at this Kingdom group, Undisputed Kingdom, as a devious stable. But again, this is Tony Khan's book, and it's like, okay, both Adam Cole's hurt and MJF is hurt. I'll just have them wrestle. No. Oh, my goodness, man. Tony Khan, boy. Like I said, OC won the match. He won. He was last man. Well, yeah, last man standing, because that's basically what the Texas Death Match is. Don't answer the 10 count. Matt Taven went flying through a doggone table. You had thumbtacks out of this world. You had cats come pulling up with poles, and everybody was bleeding all over the place and everything. I'm like, that's great. But again, the Kingdom faction should feel like the most devious faction on the show. The problem is Tony Khan's booking, ladies and gentlemen. It comes to him being able to get you invested in the group. And I'm sorry, but the Kingdom, they just fell off. They genuinely fell off. And they really had an opportunity to get started. That's Tony Khan's fault, ladies and gentlemen. That's his fault. I'm just trying to tell you the bold-faced truth. We dang near 2 weeks away from Revolution, ladies and gentlemen. 2 weeks. And then guess what Tony Khan say? I got to give away my matchup. So next week is going to be a 6-man tag team match. Samoa Joe, Swerve, and Brian Cage versus Hangman, RVD, and who else on the team? It's one more other clown that's going to be with them. I forgot the other clown, but it's a 6-man tag team match. And I'm like, I hate that TK's giving away the match. I hate it. I do not like cats wrestling each other before the pay-per-view. I will never be. WWE does it. So I'm like, why the heck would I even this is what I hate. I don't want to see fools knuckling up. If I'm going against you at a pay-per-view, my job is to get you ticked off so bad that when the fans see me, or if you're the heel, your job is to get the fans ticked off to where they want to see me kick your behind. I don't want to get in the ring and wrestle you before the freaking show, because it's taken away from what we can get at the pay-per-view. It's like taken away. This is why I keep going back to WrestleMania 21. The reason why the WrestleMania 21 was such a successful WrestleMania is because of the build-up. You didn't see Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle wrestle each other before the show. You didn't see Batista and Triple H wrestle each other. You didn't see Fruity Pebbles and JBL wrestle each other. You didn't see the late Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio wrestle each other. You didn't see Aki Bono and Big Show wrestle each other. You didn't see Chrissy Hemme and Trish Stratus wrestled each other. You understand what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about when I be talking about why I get on WWE's case about the rematches all day. And then Tony Khan like, hey, I'm going to do the same thing. It's stupid. It's so stupid. That's why I'm like, it's a pet peeve of mine. I do not like to see it. That's why I'm like, can you find a way for cats not to wrestle each other before the freaking pay-per-view? Dang. Because it takes away from what you're going to get at the pay-per-view. I don't know why cats do this. Tony Khan does this all the freaking time. You think I'm playing? Watch. Watch the next build up to the next pay-per-view. Watch fools wrestle each other. It's stupid. I don't want to see none of the clowns wrestle each other until they wrestle another fool. Wrestle another circus clown. You get my drift? It's a joke, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, I'm about to get the clown up out of here. This your main man, Casey Field, King Self for Life Wrestling Takes. I'm gone.